Welcome to Unit 2. As you may have noticed, I've upgraded my background. I'm out of the office this week, but one potential advantage of online learning and online teaching is that it does offer some flexibility in terms of both place and time. So even though I'm here, I can still offer you my intro video there. For those of you who missed my introduction video to Unit 1, my name is Derek Counts, and I'm a professor in the Department of Art History at UWM, and my job is to serve as sort of a guide or a host to the units each week, previewing the main themes and briefly walking you through each week's agenda. Interestingly, as the person who teaches ancient Mediterranean art and archaeology in a Department of Art History, I'm actually trained as an archaeologist. And as I was prepping the intro for Unit 2 this week, it sort of hit me. In a way, our class is embarking on a sort of excavation of Milwaukee. Each week, we are digging into the city, peeling back layers, and trying to make sense of Milwaukee's past, present, and future. For example, in Unit 1, we focused our attention on natural and built environments. We thought about Milwaukee as both a place and a space. We looked at geography, history, language, architecture, but also people, public memory, and a variety of other things. As an archaeologist, when I study an ancient city like Athens or Rome, one of the first things I think about is the physical setting. Where is the city located? What defines its topography, its spatial layout, etc.? What resources, land, water, building materials, minerals are available in the area? What about avenues for communication and trade, either by land or by water, on lakes, rivers, or the sea? How people interact with their environment shapes the way cities begin, develop, and change. But what comes next? After thinking about the place, like we did for Milwaukee in Unit 1, archaeologists often turn their attention to the economy. How did people make a living? How did they feed themselves? What did they make? What did they lack and therefore need to go out and get? What about access to materials? With whom did they sell or trade goods? Who took part in economic activity? Who was in control? Who was excluded? What role did the city play in shaping and controlling the economy? And most importantly, in what ways do these various conditions change over time? Archaeologists ask these types of questions because thinking about economic systems is usually directly tied to the setting and environment of a city, and more importantly, leads to all sorts of information about lifeways and social structure, contact with other groups, as well as historical changes. Thus, in this course, our own Archaeology of Modern Milwaukee, after considering Milwaukee's setting in Unit 1, we now turn to the economy in Unit 2, Made in Milwaukee, Manufacturing, Industry, and Labor in the Cream City. In tackling the economy of Milwaukee, this week focuses on the ebbs and flows in Milwaukee's manufacturing and industry, as it transitions from traditional Rust Belt economies to newer business formats based in advanced technologies, computers, data, and artificial intelligence. Unit 2 will preview these technologies from the perspective of business and industry by first defining them and showing how they work, then discussing how new tech is being used by most of the large employers of our state and our city, and then finally by considering how our community's workforce will be impacted in the coming years. Indeed, this unit is going to reconsider the very definition of work itself and help you prepare as older models of, quote, working for an employer transform into working for yourself. The organization and rhythm for Unit 2 largely mirrors Unit 1. On Monday, students are asked to view a series of video lectures by UWM faculty members and also take short, low-stake quizzes based on that material. Badge earners and for-credit students each have required assignments, but we hope everyone will set aside time for all the lectures. Each is only about 10 minutes. A total of 4 faculty lectures will address many of the main themes mentioned above. Matthew Friedel from the School of Information Studies will discuss artificial intelligence and blockchain. Dr. Parush Papatla, co-director of the Northwestern Mutual Data Science Institute, will talk about data and data science. Brian Thompson, director of the Lubar Entrepreneurship Center, will cover entrepreneurship and lean launch. And finally, Dr. Ramila Singh, associate professor of management in the Sheldon Lubar School of Business, will study labor in Milwaukee. On Wednesday evening at 7 p.m., we will hold another virtual live event. This time, our researchers will discuss topics and questions around the question of what is the future of business in Milwaukee? The panelists include UWM faculty as well as several leaders of the Milwaukee community. Antonio Butts, Executive Director of the Walnut Way Conservation Corporation, Mike Goucher, an award-winning journalist, Stephanie Linsner from Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin, and Tim Schaefer, currently executive in residence and adjunct professor in the Lubar School of Business. Professor Papatla will moderate. To prepare for the event on Wednesday, we ask you to read a selection of background sources. And as they did in Unit 1, 4-credit students are asked to submit a question, which will help drive discussion. The unit ends, as it did last week, on Friday, with a couple of assessment exercises, including a short unit quiz and a reflection paper that puts you in the driver's seat, proposing a potential entrepreneurial venture. And don't forget about our Friday Hidden UWM feature. Last week, you learned about Downer Woods, and this week, fittingly, you'll be introduced to several exciting and cutting-edge data and AI-related initiatives at UWM, including the Lubar Entrepreneurship Center, the Connected Systems Institute, and the Northwest Mutual Data Science Institute. Now, before I let you go, I will quickly remind all students, if you have any questions about the class, please plan to attend one of our virtual office hours with the course's graduate teaching assistants by clicking on this link here. For now, on behalf of my colleagues, I hope you enjoy what we have planned for you this week, and for my part, I will see you next Monday when I introduce Unit 3.